Your Honor, just as it is with sexual material. Each aspect. That's why violence and sex are so
artistic
similar.
For whom? For a 5-year-old? What a 5-year-old would appreciate as great art? Is that going to be the test?
No. Again, minors as a class, so those under 18 years old.
Do you think Mortal Kombat is prohibited by this statute?
I believe it's a candidate, Your Honor, but I haven't played the game and been exposed to it sufficiently to judge for myself.
It's a candidate, meaning, yes, a reasonable jury could find that Mortal Kombat, which is, an iconic game, which I'm sure half the clerks who work for us spend considerable amounts of time in their adolescence playing.
Justice,
I don't know what she's talking about.
Justice Kagan, by candidate, I meant that the video game industry should look at it, should take a long look at it now. But I don't know off the top of my head. I'm willing to state right here in open court that the video game Postal 2, yes, would be covered by this Act. I'm willing to guess that games that we described in our brief, such as Mad World, would be covered by the Act. I think the video game industry...
Would a video game that portrayed a Vulcan as opposed to a human being maimed and tortured, would that be covered by the Act?
No, it wouldn't, Your Honor, because the Act is only directed towards the range of options that are able to be inflicted on a human being.
If the video producer says this is not a human being, it's an android, computer simulated person, then that doesn't. All they have to do is put a little harder feature on the creature and they can sell the video game?
Under the Act, yes, because California's concern, I think this is one of the reasons that sex and violence are so similar. These are base physical acts we're talking about, Justice Sotomayor. So narrowing our law here in California, to violent depictions against human beings.
So what happens when the character gets maimed, head chopped off, and immediately after it happens they spring back to life and they continue their battle? Is that covered by your Act? Because they haven't been maimed and killed forever, just temporarily.
I would think so. The intent of the law is to limit those minors' access to those games.
You think so? Isn't that feedback to Justice Scalia's question?
Well, Your Honor, this is a facial challenge. This statute has not been applied, has not been even construed by a state or federal court below. But
thank you, counsel.
Thank you.
The case is submitted.